6 months ago, I walked away from a six-figure career in enterprise software. I had no investors, no clients, and no guarantee that it would work out. Here I am, 6 months later, signed over £70,000 in business, and I want to take you along the journey as to how I scale this business to a £1 million a year agency. Please follow my page and follow along the journey with me. I was fortunate enough to have a fantastic career working for some great enterprise technology companies. Those companies allowed me to work with some amazing clients, travel to some amazing places, and make memories that I'll never forget. But it just felt like something was missing. I'm sure you can relate to this. Anyone who works in a job that services customers, you do all of the hard work and making sure that the customer's happy, they're onboarded, and that you've solved their problems initially. But then that customer just gets passed off to maybe an account manager to touch in maybe once a month or even worse, once a quarter. It really felt like I was building somebody else's dream. I wasn't necessarily unhappy. I was just comfortable, and I wanted more for myself. I wanted to build something for myself. I'm going to be really open here now, and I'm going to tell you probably the 1 or 2 days where I realized that I needed to do something for myself. I needed to start my own company, and I couldn't work for someone else anymore. So I have a daughter. I have a 6-year-old daughter, and she means the world to me. At my last company, I requested time off for my daughter's events, whether it was a school play or, picking my daughter up on a Friday, which is what I do. I was told no, that I couldn't go to my daughter's play. So I'm obviously devastated. I'm thinking to myself, how can I allow someone else to tell me? I don't know. It's crazy because people do it all the time. Like, it's normal to most people. To me, that is not normal to have another person have that level of authority over you and have that decision-making power for you. That was the moment I decided to start the Ironclad Collective. Okay, so I just parted ways with my old job, and I had nothing. I had no clients. I had a desk. I had a computer. Skills that I picked up through my last 10 years working with clients, so I knew how to do that. Out of the blue, I got an email. I got an email from an old customer that I had reached out to a while ago, who hadn't seen the message and hadn't gotten back to me. They reached out to me, needed my services, and I didn't have a company, but I knew that I could deliver the services, so I said yes, and I gave a price, and I made a proposal. And without knowing it, in that moment, the company was formed, because the response that I got was, okay, Josh, let's go ahead. The next day, or maybe it was a couple of days later, I got another email. Hey, Josh, just noticed on your contract, there's no official company stamp. Now, in England, we don't use company stamps. We use company numbers on Companies House. That's how, when we register a company, you have to go to companieshouse.gov.uk or something, and you register your company name, and then you get a unique reference number. So in all honesty, I went straight on my computer, registered my company there and then, and that was the moment that the company was formed officially. And here we are 6 or 7 months later, and it feels great. So because I'd now got my first client and I wanted to look official, I'm now an official company, I needed to build my own website. So that was the first thing that I did. And I looked online at some of the tools that you can use to do that. And there are so many out there that I managed to make my website, got it up, got it online within a day. I went on ChatGPT and made myself a logo. Although the client was extremely happy and I had exceeded their KPIs, I knew deep down that this is not what I was meant to do, and this isn't a perfect fit for me. So I started to think about what was a perfect fit for me. Then I realized that software might be an avenue that I wanted to go down. The first client that I worked with was actually a friend of mine. So I play poker. You might be able to see my poker trophy in the background there from my pub tournament. Not the World Series of Poker, unfortunately. But anyway, poker is a great place for socializing and talking about, having a catch up with friends. So I was speaking to a friend. And I said, this is what I'm starting to do. And he said, no way, I need a website for a business that I'm thinking of starting up. I said, okay, let's do it. So that was my first customer. I had my first client, and the first website that I built was for a company called Ride Raffles, and they raffle off mountain bikes and cycling or mountain biking accessories, that kind of thing. So I built them the website, and I built them the back end, including a random number generator, ticket allocations, winner selection. I also built them a tool that allows them to anonymize user data when they go live on their socials to pick the winners of their draw. So it started out as a very simple website, and it evolved into a bit of a platform, really, including automated emails, automated WhatsApp messages, that kind of thing. And that's when I created the brand Ironclad Software UK. I am a very patriotic person. I'm also very interested in medieval history. You'll see the swords behind me, and I've got a number of books from all different castles that I've visited around the UK. I just thought it would be a good name for the company that echoes my interests, the company values, a bit of history as well. So right now, I'm between 6 to 7 months in, and I've generated nearly £70,000 in revenue for the company. Now, I'm not trying to say that I've made it, and I'm not trying to say that I know it all. I'm nowhere near where I want to be, but I'm a long way from where I started. So why am I starting this channel, and why am I documenting everything? Because I want to take you on the journey with me. I'm going to be showing you the clients, the money, the mistakes, because no one ever really shows you the truth. So if you're interested in starting your own business, or you're interested in software, please stick around for the journey.